A book written by Professor Puan Sri Datin Paduka Dr. Jamilah Ariffin was launched on the 29th of June 2025 by young Amat Berbahagia Datuk Seri Dr. Wan Azizah Dr. Wan Ismail. The book is titled To Have It All, Within the Changing World of Work, Economy and Society. It is Professor Jamilah Ariffin's 18th book publication. In her speech, Professor Jamilah described having it all as a very broad topic.
As you can see from the topic, it is a very broad topic. To have it all within the changing world of work, economy and society.
Professor Jamilah went on to explain that she intended to write on a subject that she is very familiar with and one that can appeal to a wide range of audience.
I told myself, this book is going to take me at least a few years of sleepless nights. It better be worthwhile. Okay? So what were my considerations? As you can read from the preface of the book, I have to write a topic that I'm very familiar with. That means I've gone through it myself. Career, marriage, motherhood, having children, having family. All in one go, right? And to produce a book on a topic which would appeal to a wide public. Why should you produce a book and no one wants to read it? And normally when we produce books for academics, nobody wants to buy books. So I'm now writing a book which I hope will appeal to everyone. To grandparents who want their grandchildren to succeed, to parents who want their daughters to succeed, to the young to understand, my next point, the sacrifices made by women of the earlier generation. As mentioned by Khairul just now, we were almost very high on the gender equity index. Why is it now we have gone almost the last? So we have to remember the efforts made by the early women of the 1930s to 40s to 50s. Feminism now is considered a bad word, but actually it's due to these feminists that much of the advantages enjoyed by the women of today, is the result of their efforts. For example,
the book questions why, after decades of gender equality progress of the 1960s to the 1980s, the Malaysian women today have regressed to the lowest position of Asian Gender Equity Index. Professor Jamilah also highlights the scenario of childless families and singlehood among the youth. This trend is not only prevailing in Malaysia today, but throughout the modern world. Essentially, it revolves around a major issue of the world's rapidly diminishing population, which is well below the replacement level of 2.1. And if this were to continue unabated, then it may well lead to the extinction of the human race. Another focus of the book is the enduring, continuous challenges faced by working parents, particularly working mothers, in trying to achieve professional ambitions with childcare and family responsibilities, as well as to fit into societal changing norms and expectations. However, despite all these difficulties, there are many women all over the world who still manage to have it all. That is, to achieve career success as well as marriage, good motherhood, and family well-being. In this regard, Professor Jamilah carried out an in-depth study of 20 Malaysian women who are having it all and identified their common traits based on detailed interviews and life history narratives from childhood to adulthood. This sample of 20 top career women in Malaysia represents a diverse range of professions comprising the government service, public life and politics, the judiciary, the armed forces, police and air force, construction, architecture, business, medical and dentistry, as well as the academia. The book launch event was very successful and able to generate interest in the book among the attendees. Professor Jamilah was able to engage with many of those present who were excited to obtain copies of the book not only for themselves, but also for their friends and relatives. There were highly positive feedback about the event from everyone. The foreword to this book was written by young Amat Berbahagia to Dr. Hasmah Muhammad Ali. In it she says, "It is indeed an honor to be given the opportunity to pen some thoughts as a foreword to this book, to have it all success in career, marriage and motherhood. It is special to me as it is written by Professor Datin Paduka Dr. Jamilah Ariffin, someone whom I have known personally since the 1980s, when she caught my attention as an outstanding young academic specializing in the field of women and development." Tun Hasmah reminisces, "My sharing some of her journey in this quest is probably best noted when I led a Malaysian delegation in 1995 to the United Nations 4th World Women's Conference in Beijing, China. The main consultant and writer of Malaysia's position paper on Malaysian women position and status was none other than Professor Jamilah Ariffin. I observed her commitment to fulfill her role as a career woman and to contribute to society's progress being evident." Tun Hasmah elaborates, "Professor Jamilah is the wife of the former Menteri Besar of Johor, who served from 1994 to 2013, a total of 18 years in all. During that period, her commitment to social welfare efforts was apparent, setting up daycare centres for handicapped children in every state constituency and every district in the state. The aim, apart from caring for the children, was also to relieve the poor parents of child-minding tasks so that they could focus on their livelihood pursuits." Tun Hasmah recalls, "During that period too, she initiated other societal programs, including establishing halfway houses for abandoned babies and abused children in Johor Bahru, as well as initiating successful income-generating projects to help poor single mothers throughout Johor." While at it, Professor Jamilah produced several publications and participated professionally in the local and international stage, especially at the United Nations Economic and Social Commission for Asia and the Pacific. Why are all these things important? It is because Professor Jamilah is a testimony to a woman who is able to achieve success in all three fields: career, marriage, and motherhood. Tun Hasmah concludes, "That is what this book is all about, and who better to write it other than Professor Jamilah herself?" For the audience of this video, this book is a must-read. Here's the simple fact. Although the book answers 7 basic questions, its ultimate aim is to reveal the secret on how to achieve it all. To know this secret, it's best to read the book from beginning to end. As the author concludes, the proof of the pudding is in the eating. For book inquiries, please email to iresolvefoundation@gmail.com.